I'm going to build a website using React and TypeScript. And my code name is Fronty, not to be confused with Fronty.com, which looks pretty cool. Something about converting images to HTML and CSS using artificial intelligence. That's something completely different. My Fronty is my concept of an improved job search site for front-end web developers, and this could be extended to other career choices as well. Check the video links in the description for my description of Fronty. Eventually, it'll be a full MERN site, and if you don't know what MERN is, check my links on MERN. But for now, this video will simply cover the front-end version. Now I'm going to use create React app to create a TypeScript template with this command. Now all these commands will be in the description as I install things, so you can go in there and check out links to the actual npm packages and so on. So the command is npx create React app fronty -- template TypeScript. When that's done, I can type cd fronty and then npm start. And you can see that it starts the default website created by create React app. So I created a wireframe on the whiteboard to guide my coding, and it's going to have a basic header, body, footer. I'm doing mobile first, and it's actually going to be one size fits all. I'm not doing responsive in that as the width changes for PC, tablet, mobile, you're going to have different CSS. It's going to be one CSS for everything. And that's just the way I designed it, just to keep it simple. When you hover on the hamburger menu in the header, you'll get a drop-down box with your standard settings, help, about, contact us, and so on. In the body, when you first come to the web page, you'll see this menu for filter type, and it'll have 17 different filter type. I've just listed a couple: tech stack, payment, which is how much you get paid, industry, and benefits. Once you click on one of these, then you see choose a filter type button, which is the menu compressed. If you click on that button, it takes you back to this. Either you see this or this. So once you click a filter type, then it shows you the choices for those filters. In this case, I clicked tech stack, and it shows me different technologies and their version numbers. When you select one or more, you then can see what current filters you've picked. Tech stack, and in this case, React 16.x, Redux 3.x, CSS 3, and then I selected jQuery 3.x, but then I can click on it to toggle it to not. I want to filter on not jQuery 3.x. And the same thing for industry and methodology. I can say methodology not agile or industry not legal. The X to the left of the filter lets me delete it. I can always go back here, and let's say I want to change my benefits. I can always click on that, then change which settings I've changed, which will then update this. Now, as soon as you select a single filter, it will display a search result. And just to keep it simple, I'm going to be displaying the company name and the technologies that that job uses. Once you click on one of these jobs, then you'll get the full description. And I'm going to have about 20 items here, as well as email and name of person to contact and the website, and it's going to tell you how much the job pays and what experience level they need and how much education is required and so on, and what the tech stack is. And you can click on the apply button to easily apply. Now, one thing I want to do before I start, you can see that it uses the .css files. I actually want to use sass, so the .scss files. So I'm going to install node-sass with npm install node-sass. Now that that's done installing, I'm going to rename these CSS files to .scss. Now that I've renamed them, you can see it has the Sass logo to the left. I also had to update the imports to the CSS files to be scss. It works. So I know I want to use the router, so I might as well install that now with the command npm install react router DOM. I've added the route, got this switch statement and a bunch of routes. I've added these various pages for home, inbox, about, profile, settings, and so on. We got routes working, and this is what the page looks like. And I've added pages for these links in the footer. For example, terms of agreement, about. The hamburger icon is an SVG. I have a close icon later for closing things and the hamburger SVG. And so you can see in the header, I import the hamburger SVG and then just render it. I added a bunch of other components. I created a components folder, and under that I have about, contact us. These are folders because I'm thinking of adding a CSS file for each one if it need be. It's nice to consolidate all the files with a component into one folder. It compresses your listing here since all the files for about are in the about folder, so you don't blow up your directory listing on the side here. So I've got about, contact us, cookies, frequently asked questions, footer, header, help, home, inbox. My logo now uses a Google font. And I've added a fave icon. The way I add the Google font was linking to it in the HTML file. And then in my header, I've added a class name called logo. And in my CSS file, I indicate font family lobster. Next, I'm going to add this NPM module named clsx, a tiny utility for constructing class name strings conditionally. You can also add multiple class names. To install, I'm going to type npm install clsx. So now I'm using clsx. This is the previous page, and this is the current page, and you can see that there's now a border around the header. And the way I did this was I used clsx, and I specified it uses the header class and the border class. In app.scss, I added this border class, 1px solid #ccc. So I've added this drop-down menu here for the hamburger menu. You can click on, see your inbox, jobs that you've applied to, your profile, your settings, help section, the about, contact us. And this is all working through the router. And this effect, there's no JavaScript. It's all CSS using a hover selector. So you can see it uses link from React Router DOM, and it's basically used for anchor tags, but it uses the router. The logo, if you click on it, takes you back to the home page. And you can see I've added more links. This is the drop down here, and I have a link for each LI for the inbox, jobs applied, profile, settings, help, and so on. It goes to this route. Now I've added these as constants, and you can see that I've imported path from constants. So I define my base string as portfolio Fronty, and then each of the pages gets their own constant. So the about page would be base about, base inbox, base profile,